For many amputees, one of the big questions on their mind is, who is involved in my care? While others might worry that they are going to go through this change all alone, recovering from an amputation can seem like an overwhelming process. But today, we're going to show you that you're never alone. There's a dedicated team of professionals and loved ones committed to helping you regain your independence, strength, and hope to get you to a new normal life. Recovery from an amputation isn't something you have to do alone. A variety of professionals will work together to help you heal, adjust, and thrive in your new life. In this video, we'll introduce you to each key player in your recovery journey so you can feel confident about who will be there to support you on the road back to independent living.
I'm Melissa from Limbs for Life. I'm an above-knee amputee. We're creating a range of videos about living with amputation, helping you to gain some better insights about understanding limb loss from a user perspective and answering some of the questions along the way that you may have.
Surgeon. The first member of your care team is your surgeon. The surgeon who performed your amputation is usually the primary member of your care team during initial stages of recovery. In the early stages of recovery, they are a crucial part of ensuring that your body is healing properly. Your surgeon will closely monitor your wound, checking for signs of infection, and ensure that the healing process is progressing as expected. They are also responsible for guiding you through any follow-up procedures that may be necessary. Primary care nurse. Next, we have your nurse. Your nurse will administer any medication that you may need, and they also act as a patient advocate for many people. They help to manage your daily needs during recovery, like wound dressing, personal hygiene, dressing, and general overall care. There may be specific healthcare team members involved depending on the cause of your amputation. For example, if you had an amputation due to cancer, then an oncologist will provide support for your medication care. If you had an amputation due to diabetes, then a diabetic educator and diabetes nurse may be engaged. Social worker. Next, we have social workers. A social worker can assist you with practical matters such as assessing financial assistance, coordinating home care services, and connecting you with community resources and support groups. Psychologist or counsellor. Adjusting to life after an amputation can be emotionally overwhelming. That's where a psychologist or counsellor comes in. Your emotional recovery is just as important as your physical healing. A psychologist can offer support, coping strategies, and guidance to help you navigate the emotional impact of limb loss. It's normal to feel a wide range of emotions, and a psychologist or counsellor can help you to work through these emotions. Next is your physiotherapist. Physical therapy plays a crucial role in both acute hospital care and rehabilitation after an amputation. Your physiotherapist will guide you through some basic, gentle exercises while you're in hospital. Once you get to rehabilitation, they will work with you to rebuild your strength, help you to regain mobility, and teach you exercises to restore balance. They'll also teach you how to use your prosthetic limb effectively so that you can achieve a good walking gait pattern and move with confidence again. Occupational therapist. An occupational therapist focuses on helping you regain independence in your everyday life. They'll help you with daily tasks like grooming and cooking. They may even suggest adaptations to your home environment to make things easier and more accessible for you. If you have an upper limb amputation, then your OT will be involved in teaching you how to get the best out of your prosthetic device. Rehab consultant. Your rehab consultant will take charge of your care when you get to rehabilitation. They oversight the team along with care plan and medical needs. Check your wound healing and also determine if you're eligible for a prosthetic limb. Next, we have your prosthesist. If it is determined that you are eligible for a prosthesis, then they are the ones who will manufacture, fit, and adjust your prosthetic limb. They will work closely with you to find a prosthetic device that meets your needs. They also make sure your prosthetic is comfortable, fits well, and functions as it should. It's not just about getting a prosthetic, it's about getting the right prosthesis for you. Your prosthesis will be there throughout your recovery journey, making adjustments as your body changes. Family and caregivers. And don't forget about your family, significant others and caregivers. Their love, encouragement and practical support are invaluable during this time. Some carers may assist you with daily tasks, accompany you to medical appointments and provide emotional encouragement.
My two boys, Michael and Alex. Yeah, because I was so young when I had the amputation that I felt like I needed to be a mother. They needed me. So if it wasn't for them, I think I would be down in the dumps a whole lot longer. So I was probably depressed for a good six to 8 weeks. Didn't want to see anyone. I was in bed, but knowing that they needed me, they were the blessing in my recovery and obviously through their growth. And now they're 24 and 25, so they're the ones that kept me going. I really needed to get up and do something with my life instead of sitting in bed and moping. I couldn't see a future beyond this morning of my limb. Getting up and doing something each day and then wearing my leg more and more really helped me in the recovery of going on with life and, achieving what I've achieved. I've got my independence back by driving with my left leg. So all my cars have been modified, and there's a person in Coburg that removes the right foot accelerator and installs a uni pedal. So I'm a right above knee amputee. If someone wants to drive my car, they bring their right pedal down, and obviously my pedal's down most of the time. So the right pedal is up and my left foot accelerator is down, and the brake is in the middle, and that works well.
Yeah, sure. Many people. I mean, from nurses in the hospital, from physios. I had a great physio. Just everyone in that field was very supportive and very helpful. Prosthetic technicians back then when I had mine, where there was a lot of what you'd call old school, where prosthetic technicians they're like tradies. So they, years of experience, and they were always, on hand. I'd go back to the prosthetics clinic sometimes 3 times a week for months and months and months, and it was never a problem, and they'd go out of their way to help me. There was also a lot of good doctors that were very supportive. Some doctors that weren't, that might have been a bit negative. But overall, fantastic support throughout the health industry, as well as fellow amputees that were going through the same thing at the time. Whether it's ill-fitting prosthesis or I do too much during a particular day. At the moment, I'm a bit bruised on one leg because I've done too much over the last few days, and that's just goes hand in hand with being an amputee. I think you've got to learn limitations, so to speak, but there's always occasions where you still do too much, and you might be out socially and you might be standing up in a social situation and stand up for too long because it's always hard to go and sit down while everyone's standing up and talking. But bruising and also tearing the skin because my legs it's all skin graft. It tears very easily, so I have to be very careful. So if I do too much and I take my leg off at night and I've torn the skin or feel bruised, I just know I've got to take it easy for the next couple of days and rest up. Being an amputee, below knee, you have to adjust naturally. If you're bilateral, you have to adjust even more, and if you're above knee, you have to adjust even more. So, and it's everyday things that you don't appreciate, or you wouldn't even know about if you weren't an amputee. So I have to have I have to shower with a shower chair. So I get in the shower and sit on the chair, or I've actually got a bench seat built in now, which is great. Take my prosthetics off, put them aside so that I don't get wet, and then have my shower and dry myself and make sure I'm wash my liners and so forth, and put them on again and get up and go. As far as driving goes, I drive an automatic car, just a standard auto car. So I use the accelerator and the brake. I had my amputations in 1994, and I think I had to do a test to remain driving, and back then it was just in a simulator. So it was mainly on reaction time. So the green light would come on and I'd press the accelerator, and then a red light would come on and I'd press the brake, and that was basically it. I think it's changed a lot now, but I've never used hand controls or had any modifications. I just managed to adjust to being able to gauge the pressure on the pedals, that sort of thing. So it gets a bit hard when I'm sore, like at the moment. But other than that, I tried a manual once, and because I used to drive manual, and that was a bit hard. So I've stuck to the
Probably my biggest one would be the physio at the rehab that I was at. She was pretty full on with me, taught me a lot of stuff, just simple stuff, how to get up off the ground if you fall, all that sort of stuff. She really pushed me even on days that I didn't really want to cooperate. She sort of motivated me to keep moving, keep doing stuff. I'm taking myself back, but look, for those first couple of months, it was all very blurry. Like it was a real strange time in my life. I didn't know whether I was Arthur or Martha. Like, you don't go in hospital thinking that you're going to become an amputee and you don't get out of hospital 3 months later with a whole new identity. I was sort of a bit mixed up about it all. I could talk to peer support or other people around me, but I was thinking about my future. I didn't know how I was going to get through it. So it was a bit of a hard time. So when you get out of rehab, you go home and then that's when you sort of really, all right, what am I going to do? How am I going to handle it? Yeah, that's when it's really reality when you get home. Look, I got some close friends that really backed me up. I did stick to my hospital appointments because you have to go back, double check the foot specialist. I make sure I go to a podiatrist every 10 weeks because if I only had to go to a podiatrist once, they would have found out there was a problem. So foot care is a very big thing. So I changed all that when I came out. I did a lot of follow-ups. I was very scared that I was going to lose the other leg if I wasn't careful, and just changed my diet, all that sort of stuff, changed my whole way of living really. And that's the sort of way I went with. It took a while. I'd have to admit it's quite a journey. Everyone handles it differently. I had my own way to deal with it. Probably didn't handle it the best way at the start, but I got there at the end. Other people might just bounce back straight away, but for me it took just a little bit longer to sort of accept what was happening.
Going to rehab was something, after lying in a hospital bed for several weeks, I was really looking forward to because I knew that would be the path to coming back to, hopefully, being able to walk. And going into rehab, it also gave me the ability then to be able to go into a gym and start to do some exercises and get the body just to get out of a bed and start to get back into it again. And that made me feel a bit better. But of course, the one question I had that everyone kept telling me, everyone's a bit different, is when would I be able to walk again? And that took, unfortunately, quite a bit of time for me, up to 12 months. While I was in rehab the first time, I remember looking across and there was someone getting a prosthetic leg fitted for the first day. What it did is it gave me hope, and it said to me, you know what, if I follow what my rehab people are telling me, follow my medical advice, I'm going to be okay. I will be able to get up and I will be able to walk again. Recovery from an amputation is a journey. With a dedicated team of professionals working together to address your physical, emotional and practical needs, you have the tools and support to build your new normal. You, the most important person in your team, is you. Learning to self-manage your healthcare, asking questions to gain a better understanding about your journey moving forward are all very important. Being an active participant in your recovery will give you the best chance of a good outcome. Remember, recovery takes time and patience, but every small step forward is a victory. By working as a team player, staying committed to your recovery, you can achieve independence, mobility, functionality. If you are struggling, speak to your GP or rehabilitation consultant. Speaking to another amputee, a person who has lived experience and adapted to limb loss, can share tips, the helpful strategies that they used about their journey moving forward so that you can make the best of your own circumstance.
Limbs for Life are creating these series of videos that cover a broad range of topics that help amputees through their journey. In a nutshell, we want to break down the barriers to amputation so that you can make educated and informed decisions and live the best life that you can. So click on one of these videos to watch more.